I'm here with Sheena Donnelly, who is the lead designer from Top Notch Themes. And Sheena, would you like to share with us your general thoughts about theming with Drupal and why it's one of your favorite CMSs to use?
Sure. I know that a lot of people don't have, a super great theming experience with Drupal, especially starting out. It's way different. How do you go about customizing things seems, really bizarre, and it's hard to break into. But once you figure out what's going on, you realize the inherent flexibility, how you can control little things through the theme without having to step on the toes of the development and the functionality and things like that. And basically, the power that Drupal brings to site building is something that we can sort of grab in the theme layer and sort of exploit for our own design purposes and things. And once you sort of get through there and figure out how to do that, you realize that there's a lot of opportunities that aren't present in things like a WordPress theme where you have to hard code things into templates and things like that.
I think content separating, separate from the theme is definitely one of the best parts about Drupal.
Right, yeah, and being able to set up things in the theme to plan for what you think people are probably going to do with the content is a lot of fun, and lets you create options for users that you wouldn't be able to give them an option for. You would have to just decide ahead of time and hard code it in. So
yeah, I totally agree. Would you like to tell us about maybe Fusion, one of the base themes that Top Notch Themes is working on, and where you guys are going in Drupal 7 with that?
Yeah, Fusion is our primary base theme. We use it for our free themes that are on Drupal.org, the Acquia themes. We also use it for our premium themes that we sell on our website, and we also use it for our custom themes for our custom clients. One of the great things about Fusion is that it's very flexible. We like to call it sustainable theming. It's the sort of idea that your website is going to change, and you're using Drupal, and so you want your website to be flexible, and you don't want to do things like style-specific block IDs to look exactly this one way, because then if someone decides they don't want that block anymore and they want this other block, you have to do more styling and more CSS. So what we do is we use sort of these modular skins that you're able to apply to things like blocks and views and pages, and really create this sort of flexibility and grab hold of, like I was talking about, Drupal's inherent flexibility, and don't lock people out of that just because you need to preserve the design. But harness that and really use that power for your theme. And for Drupal 7, we've had a little bit of hang-ups waiting for Skinner development, because we've been very sort of dependent on Skinner. So we're working really hard right now to get something out in the next couple weeks for Fusion, so that we can have that Skinner functionality be stable and dependable. And moving forward, we're really looking towards things like, how can we take theme settings out of the theme layer and make them packageable and exportable, so that you can set up install profiles for a theme that already have certain block styles set as defaults, or certain grid layout options set as a default, and things like that. So that's sort of where we're looking forward, is really making the theme just as modular and flexible as Drupal core is.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, is there any particular advice that you might give somebody who's looking to move like an enterprise level site to Drupal?
The biggest thing I can say about working on any Drupal project is project management. That is just the biggest. All the projects that we work on, Top Notch, a lot of our custom work, we do a very small portion of a project. We only do the theme. We don't do the development, we don't do the site configuration or the content editing. And so project management, I've seen in a lot of big projects, can really hold up the efficiency and the progress of a project and make it unsuccessful when all the team members are maybe super talented, really know what they're doing, but there's no clear leadership and someone sort of taking the reins and really driving the project and making sure deadlines get met and people are doing what they need to be doing and people are communicating with each other. And technical skills can be learned, but without a project manager, a big project like that is just going to fall apart.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I know that there's a session later today that two project managers from MediaCurrent are getting people advice on what they can do to lead a Drupal project start to finish. So
right, yeah.
that is a good piece of advice. So thanks very much, Sheena. And I'm Kendall Totten with MediaCurrent at the 2011 Drupal Camp Atlanta.